So please welcome on stage the wonderful, the darling himself, Mr. Charlie Boorman.
Hello, everybody. Wow. Thank you for hanging around on a Sunday afternoon. I thought you would have all fucked off by now, but clearly not.
We are here at the European Motorshow and I'm delighted to be joined by Charlie Boorman. Charlie, we've listened to you up on stage.
Oh, yeah.
It was actually ironic when your name came out as one of the guest speakers. Myself and James over Christmas were watching, it was the long ride home you did. And something struck me. We've always contemplated, God, we'd love to go off and video ourselves going around like yourself and Ewan do. Do you ever get bored of it? Does the thrill of adventure ever leave you?
Well, first, thank you very much for having me on, and yeah, the European Motor Show has been fabulous, and first time they've put it on, so I think they've done really well. Got Christian Horner of all people to come on and chat. But yeah, I think travel is great fun, and if you have a friend or a lover or a wife or a family going away around the world is fantastic. And I think having experiences in different countries, looking at different cultures, and understanding how 60% of the world really lives is a good thing. And sure, I think you should definitely do it. And people are always interested. You've got the armchair traveller, you've got people who've done it before, and then people, when you do travel together, you can identify because there's some stage as to what you and I were up to. But as getting bored, I don't think so. I mean, it's always a different country, different place, and as Ewan always likes to joke, and say, well, when we did Long Way Home, he always jokes and saying, this is fabulous. This is our fourth honeymoon without the sex, and so you're doing all the stuff you would do on a honeymoon, really. So yeah, I think travel is the spice of life.
People bring a coffee. He brought a fucking machine gun.
Welcome! Everybody, welcome! Please.
Да, залита вином, все цыгане спят, да непробудным сном.
There's one element of not knowing what the fuck is going on.
Не спи.
I don't know why. There's guns everywhere. I'm not kidding.
За любовь свою.
Why would somebody have a gun? He's a coal merchant. Apparently. I don't know why I'm holding the hand. I've been left with the Kalashnikov.
Поцелуй меня, не отравишься. Поцелуй меня.
He's taking a lot of phone calls as well, isn't he? He's always on the telephone, and then he disappeared for a while. But he just disappeared to get dinner, didn't he? He runs a electrical shop. He sells televisions and microwaves and stuff. And he's built a huge house, and he's building a swimming pool.
It was before your COVID trip, was it? You had a really serious injury.
Yeah.
And when we were watching you kind of narrate over all the injuries you did actually sustain, it kind of brought back a few treacherous memories for us with James and his pelvis last year at Silverstone. Was it different the last time, I suppose, with the injuries? Did you struggle? Was it a different kind of feeling on the bike, or how did you manage?
Well, the last time, so 2016, I had a very bad crash and I broke my legs really badly, and that was 27 operations to walk again. And then I had another crash in 2018, but that was much more serious crash, and I had a lot of head injuries and pelvis and forearms and crushed lungs and collarbones and all that kind of stuff. But we were negotiating with Apple for Long Way Up, and and because it was the first one we did with Apple, they wanted to see Ewan and I together, and of course I was
Broken.
in hospital having my pelvis fixed, and so Ewan and Russ and Dave would go and say, well, we'd love Charlie to be here, but he's off making another documentary, and he's halfway across the world, and really I was just down the road in hospital, and so we had to keep it all quiet. And so when we showed them the first episode, we had all this crash in there, and they said, well, hang on a minute, the maths mean that it was just before we went that he was broken, and they go, well, we said if we told you probably wouldn't have done it. So exactly. So anyway, but I think accidents and crashing are all part of life, and sadly, if you do crash something. But my sister was walking down the stairs, and she looked out the window of our house. It was a beautiful summer's day, and she said she was sort of welcoming the morning to herself, and then she took another step and missed a step and smashed her ankle to pieces. So it can happen anywhere.
And just on that, like you're kind of saying, it was by the skin of your teeth you actually made Long Way Home to go out with Ewan. If Ewan, for whatever reason, for unforeseen circumstances, wasn't to be able to do an episode with you or to go on tour, would you have somebody else in mind that you would actually go on tour with, or would you be able to tolerate anyone else?
No, I think Brad Pitt or I
know a man behind the camera there that would probably be a very willing contender.
And Hemsworth, he's a big biker. He's just gone on a big trip with his father, the guy who plays Thor, and he's just done a big road trip with his dad. His dad is just getting, I think he's just at the onset of Parkinson's, and so they wanted to build some lovely memories together, so they went off on this big bike trip, which is out on telly, so you can watch it.
Fabulous. Well, look, thank you so much. It was a pleasure to meet you and a pleasure to interview you, and safe flight.
Thank you very much. Cheers.